Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman in our downtown Lansing studios. And we're going to run across town, actually, in just about the district that Meghan Ziehmer is standing, as a matter of fact. Meghan, your backdrop is great. Downtown Lansing, I see the Capitol back there, and it's good to have you on. Meghan is the Associate Director of the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. And, let's start out with this, Meghan. Let's remind everybody, you are part of the Convention Visitors Bureau, if I'm not mistaken. And what is your mission?
So you're right. We are a division of the Convention and Visitors Bureau in town. The Greater Lansing Sports Authority, our mission is to bring people to the Tri-County region and sell Lansing as a sports destination. We want to bring events here to the community so that they're staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants, shopping in our malls, all to help boost our economic impact here across the region.
Well, you've done a marvelous job for that. And that's in keeping, of course, with the Convention Visitors Bureau's mission of having people come in, spend money, enjoy the city, and hopefully get the experience they want to come back, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell me how it's gone. Let's talk a little bit about some of the highlights from this last year.
We have had a very, very busy year. We are coming off of a spring, unlike a spring that, to be honest, that we've had in a long time. We went through a stretch of 6 weeks where we hosted 7 national championship events in 6 weeks. And those were not the only events that we had. We had other events in town, from USA Archery National Championship. We had a National Intercollegiate Running Association National Championship. We had a Wrestling National Championship. There was a number of different things that we hosted over those 6 weeks. So it's been crazy spring. And we keep saying that, it's going to get a little bit, it's going to slow down. It's going to slow down, and it doesn't. Last week, we just wrapped up the Big Ten softball championship tournament out at MSU. We're coming off of a crazy busy weekend with senior softball, and we're headed into a holiday weekend with even more excitement coming up. So it's been busy. We're waiting for that lull, but we're taking it all in as well, because we're just excited to have the energy back in the community.
Well, sure. I tell you, you guys have filled the city and the athletic events. Tell me about Lansing and in its competitive circumstance. Do we have the hotels that we need? Do we have the venues for these athletic events?
I think obviously, for our people on the sports side of things, the hotels is kind of an afterthought. I know on the meetings and convention side of things, they're really quick to secure those hotels. And for us, it's really about the facility. Where am I playing my game? Really don't care where I sleep. Just really need to know where I'm playing. And while we do have some great venues across the community, obviously with COVID and the pandemic, we did lose a couple of our key venues here across the region, which was very unfortunate. But, our team's working hard. We're getting creative. And we're doing the best that we can to kind of utilize what we have across the region.
It's pretty amazing. Now, I would suspect that you have a pretty broad spectrum of people's needs, because I think about putting the wrestling tournament in with like dressage or something. I mean, those are very different folks with very different needs.
Yes, we're very fortunate that while, we are strong in certain sports, we've always been a strong ice community with, across the state, we've had some strong hockey and figure skating and whatnot. I think one of the things that we've been fortunate with is we've been able to get creative and really bring in some of those non-traditional sports. So I talk about our crazy spring, and to your point, we had the Judo Youth National Championships over at the Lansing Center. Which is very different than the needs of, say, an archery group. An archery group obviously needs a little bit different of a venue than, say, a judo event would need. So certainly different groups, different needs, but that's part of our job, right? Our job is to see what each of our clients needs and then roll out the red carpet for them, regardless of what their request is. We're going to do our best to make sure that their needs are met.
Well, Meghan, tell me a little bit about what's coming up, because there's always a pipeline involved, right? What's coming in 2 years, right?
There is. So as I mentioned, we're headed into a busy holiday weekend. We have the USTA Level 4 Memorial Tennis Tournament that is back in full capacity, and we're so excited. Have about 500 athletes across the region for that event. We've got some lacrosse coming up in the summer. We've got the Michigan High School Athletic Association baseball, softball, soccer finals, which is one of my favorite at MSU. We host all 3 of those events right on campus all together. We've got the International Bowling Congress. We've partnered with Muskegon and Grand Rapids, and we're going to be bringing in hundreds of bowlers for 12 days in the middle of July. We've got the USA Clay High School Target League National Championships being hosted over in Mason. And then later this fall, we've got the NCAA Division III Men's and Women's Cross Country National Championships that we'll be hosting out at Forest Acres East, as well as we were just awarded a US Figure Skating Midwest Sectional Singles and US Pairs Finals that will be hosted at Suburban Ice. So those are just coming up later this year. I mean, and those are some of the highlights, us highlighted events, but we certainly have a plethora of other events on the books, and our team's working hard. So
Megan, when you do the assessment of your facilities, et cetera, is there anything we're lacking? Is there anything we should be building, looking at? You know, we got a great ballpark. We've got all these venues you're talking about. Is there any niche there we should be filling right now? Pickleball courts or something?
Pickleball is definitely one of the fastest growing sports for sure. I think one of the things that we're lacking, obviously with the closure of the summit, you know, we don't have court space. We don't have hard surfaces to play on. Looking for basketball, pickleball, those types of things. But we do need some outdoor space as well, and some open multi-purpose field space. So, you know, I think we've got events, we've got clients that can fit the needs of multiple facilities like that. And I think we're looking at all of our options across the region.
Well, you're doing an outstanding job. Meghan Ziehmer is the Associate Director of the Greater Lansing Sports Authority. And thanks so much for the work that you do, and stay at it, would you?
Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
All right. You watched all this on the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.